What's up, YouTube? My name is Martin Gary, and I am from Williamsburg, Virginia, currently living in Danville, Kentucky, and I am 29 years old with autism. And because of my situation, my mother, Narda Jean Gary, is my court-appointed guardian through Danville Judge Jeff Dotson. And for a while in my life, I have been working on trying to do my best. But my mom has done a lot of things to antagonize me for the heck of it. Like sometimes in the mornings, I would be busy trying to do my hygiene. And as she knew I was busy, she would demand me to do her personal favors in unprovoking, loud, and verbally aggressive and abusive manners. And also, I got a mentor who takes me out, and sometimes when my mentor would be over and I would try and get busy with my morning routine, Mom would verbally abuse me because of her personal problems that had nothing to do with me, demanding me to come in a room and help her with personal favors in unprovoking, loud, and verbally aggressive and abusive manners. And sometimes in the morning, I would be trying to fix my bowl of oatmeal, and she would personally, insistingly, physically get too close for comfort, demanding me to hand her my bowl of food in unprovoking, loud, and verbally aggressive and abusive manners, like I didn't know how to cook or something like that. And sometimes in the mornings, I would get my bowl of oatmeal out of the microwave after cooking it, and it'd be dry on top, but I wouldn't care. I would just want to eat it anyway. And as I was busy eating it at the table, Mom would personally, insistingly, physically get too close for comfort, demanding me to hand her my bowl of food, just because I wanted it dry on top, but in unprovoking, loud, and verbally aggressive and abusive manners. And sometimes she would verbally abuse me just because of the way I want to eat my own food. And so you can say I eventually got depressingly sick and tired and fed up with it, to where I chose to get a family court case started because of me and Mom's home problems. But one thing I had no business trying to do, was petitioning to try and see if I was eligible to become my own guardian or not. And by gosh, if that didn't kind of backfire on me, because the social worker Holly Brighton and the lawyer Janet Staten, who Danville Judge Jeff Dotson appointed to take my case, well, I guess you can say they scoped through my last YouTube channel as they were giving their recommendations, and I guess my locker room talk videos seemed alarming to them, coming from a special needs person, I guess. And one day I tried to write Judge Dotson a big explanatory letter trying to clear up that social worker and lawyer's concerns. But my mother manipulated me into not sending that letter, and she typed out a shorter version of the letter and made me send that one, pretending like it was me saying that stuff, which um, put me in the way of worriness. And one day, when that lawyer lady, Janet Staten, gave me a call to give me her recommendation, you can pretty much say that she manipulated me into deleting my YouTube channel based on my disability, like, yeah, kind of like harassment and intimidation and discrimination, or being being bluffed, or um, coercion, something like that. And here was what she said to manipulate me. She was like, now what you think's in your best interest and what we think might be two totally different things. And she tried to recommend me to go into a group home and saying shit like, Mom should have been supervising me and I should not be allowed to post. But hell, I'm a higher functioning autistic person for my situation. And on my last YouTube channel, I obviously made sure I didn't break any rules or laws. So here's some things I have to say in regards to all of that. I know I had no business trying to petition, but as far as me filing a complaint against my mom to Judge Dotson, I should have just sent him a very explanatory letter about what was bothering me, and asking him if he could court order for the police or adult protective services to come by and investigate and intervene in on me and Mom's household. And I bet the whole situation would have been over by then. And secondly, in a way, being that I'm as higher functioning as I am, and being that I obviously broke no rules or laws on the internet, I know I should not have ran that one letter by Mom, which led to her manipulating me into not sending it. And as far as that lawyer, Lady Janet Staten, manipulating me into deleting my YouTube channel, well, being how higher functioning I am, and I obviously broke no rules or laws, on my behalf, I could have still easily stopped the manipulation. And 5 things I figure in a case like that: if a lawyer tells you something on the phone that depressingly doesn't make sense, 5 options. For 1, you can hang up the phone. For 2, think to yourself for a minute and think about the sounding of what they just told you and make your own decision there. Or thirdly, do your your own research on the internet, or fourthly, go to the courthouse to have them fired to get a new one appointed, or fifthly, wait to explain yourself to the judge. And Holly Brighton and Janet Staten try to come at me about my BB gun too, but I printed off a couple of law articles as well. It says BB and pellet guns are not considered to be firearms under federal law because they expel projectiles by the action of compressed air rather than explosives. And as far as Janet manipulating me into deleting my YouTube channel based on my disability, here's a law article I found on the internet. The freedoms granted to you shouldn't be violated. If your First Amendment rights have been violated, you should contact a civil rights attorney. A civil rights lawyer can help you if you've been mistreated based on characteristics such as race, religion, gender, or disability. And I had wrote a letter against Janet Staten to the Attorney General of Kentucky, Daniel Cameron, and I filled out a complaint form against her and mailed it to the ACLU in Louisville. And I recently sent Judge Dotson a 5-page letter about everything that's on my mind in regards to this court case. Telling him that I feel like I know he has me on probation right now, but in the letter I told him that I felt like the court decision as far as probation I felt like it was a little slightly unfair, but that was my fault for not standing up for myself properly. And I told him the deep personal detailistics of how I'm cahootly in good terms with the the Danville Police Department and the Boyle County Sheriff's Department. And I used a few convicted felon family members for references in my letter. And in the letter, I told him about my handwritten complaints against Janet Staten, and I told him I might try and reach out to some other organizations against her. And these two law articles I just read, well, I had other printings of them that I stapled to the back of the letter for Judge Dotson. And the day I mailed the letter, I put it in a large yellow envelope, and at the top of the envelope with a red permanent marker, I wrote strongly important 5-page letter. And at the bottom of the envelope, I wrote, I just signed this envelope with my Danville Police Department I-Touch pen, by the way. And last thing, when I mailed the letter to him, I chose to certify it at the Danville Post Office. And either way, I hope y'all are keeping my old Facebook and last YouTube channels in your memories and thoughts. Good night.